Burning fat and getting lean is really just the beginning. According to research, over 90% of people that lose a lot of weight eventually regain every last pound that they lost. And if you don't want to end up like one of these poor, unfortunate people, you should know that the long-term outcome is largely determined by how easily you're able to stick to your diet plan. The harder that it is for you to follow a diet, the less chance you have at being able to actually maintain the results long term. And the two factors that influence how easy a diet is to stick to are how satiating and satisfying the diet is. To break that down further, the only way to feel full and satisfied is by eating a diet with a higher food volume. These high volume foods naturally stretch your stomach out, helping you feel full without restricting while costing a minimal amount of calories. This makes dieting easy and sustainable. So today I want to go over 11 of the most filling foods for effortless weight loss. Starting first with watermelon. Now, fruit is something that many people limit when they're on a diet because they're afraid of the simple sugars that most fruits contain. However, other than eating vegetables, fruit is some of the least calorically dense foods available to eat. And this is especially true with watermelon. Over 90% of watermelon is made up of water. This is why you can eat a whole cup of watermelon and only take in around 30 to 40 calories. This will really help fill up your stomach and reduce your appetite naturally. Watermelon is also one of the best natural sources of L-citrulline, which is an amino acid that's converted inside the body into L-arginine. And this leads to the production of nitric oxide. And nitric oxide helps improve many things like blood flow, exercise performance, energy levels, and post-workout muscle soreness. Another great option that helps fill you up if you don't mind spicy foods is hot peppers, and also the hot sauce that they're used to make. This is because hot peppers are rich in capsaicin, which has been shown to not only speed up the metabolism, but to also prevent future overeating. And there are a number of studies that show that hot peppers do in fact reduce appetite. For example, in one study they had two groups eat the same exact entree with one difference. One group ate the entree with a small amount of hot peppers and the other group had salsa instead. And the group that had the hot peppers ended up consuming 200 less calories in their next meal. Another similar study had two groups, one eating red peppers with their meal and the other eating the same meal except without the red peppers. Afterward, they were allowed to eat as much pizza as they wanted, and the group that had the red peppers beforehand ate significantly less pizza. Since Tabasco sauce and hot sauces are very low in calories, feel free to add these sauces as well as actual peppers to your meals. Next, let's move on to a carbohydrate that I know many of you try to avoid when your goal is to burn fat, and that's the potato. Potatoes have been blamed in the past for causing weight gain. However, this has a lot more to do with the way that the potatoes are served rather than the potato itself. When you add a lot of butter and milk or maybe even cream cheese to the mashed potatoes and then you top it off with gravy, you'll most likely add a few hundred extra calories that do nothing to help fill you up. The same can be said if you fry or cook your potatoes in a lot of oil. However, if you grill, oven bake, or boil a potato, you get one of the most filling starchy carbohydrates out there. In fact, overall, potatoes rank at the very top of the satiety index, which simply means that they're extremely filling, especially if you eat the whole potato with the skin, since the skin contains a ton of filling fiber. When potatoes are cooked the right way, they contain anywhere from 1/3 to half the calories of most other grain products when compared in terms of food volume. 100 grams of potatoes have about 75 calories, meanwhile 100 grams of rice has 130 calories. And even though you shouldn't preload your potatoes with a ton of butter, there's nothing wrong with adding a small amount of butter to your potatoes to make them taste better. You'll still be eating one of the most filling carbs per food volume. Another carbohydrate that's very filling is oatmeal. Oatmeal has been a staple carb in the diets of strongmen and bodybuilders for generations. Not only are oats relatively low in calories, but they're also very satiating and they actually rank number 3 on the food satiety scale. This has a lot to do with the high fiber content that the oats provide, as well as their ability to soak up water, helping to increase the volume that they occupy in your stomach. The fiber also helps slow down the digestion of the oats, which helps you stay full for longer. On top of all that, oats also pack a good amount of protein for a carbohydrate-rich food. Just remember, when buying oats, go with the plain steel cut or the rolled oats and avoid the flavored oats because the flavored packages have a bunch of extra added sugars, which makes it much more calorically dense. Next on the list is, of course, vegetables. And I wanted to go over vegetables as a broad category because there are so many great vegetables that are so low in calories per food volume that if I listed each out, this whole video would just be about vegetables. Some of the most satiating and least calorically dense vegetables include celery, cucumbers, and spinach. Veggies that are full of water, like lettuce, celery, and cucumbers, are particularly low in calories. For example, 100 grams of celery only contains about 8 calories. Even if you grazed all day, you wouldn't be able to eat enough celery to even maintain your weight if you tried. Other vegetables that are higher in calories than celery, like broccoli and cauliflower, are still amazing at satisfying your appetite and killing off hunger. Vegetables are also obviously very healthy since they're packed full of vitamins and minerals. If you ever need to take the edge off your hunger, it's a great idea to have a salad or some stir-fried vegetables before moving on to the main course. Another awesome carbohydrate that you can have as a very filling snack is popcorn. Popcorn is very filling and satiating, especially for a snack that's primarily made up of carbs. This is largely due to the fact that popcorn is very high in fiber and it has a very low energy density. 1 cup of popcorn only contains about 30 calories. Now the problem with popcorn is that it's often paired with a lot of butter. And with enough butter, you can take any low energy density food and turn it into a very calorically dense food. So if you're having popcorn as a snack to help fight off hunger and cravings, you ideally want to go with the plain air-popped variety. Now, if you want a healthier carb that's not only filling, but also packed full of vitamins and antioxidants, then you should try to eat more berries. Berries are naturally low in calories, and certain berries like blackberries and raspberries are much lower in carbs than most other fruits. That's why berries are pretty much the only carb that you can still eat on a ketogenic diet, which allows you to only have 5% of your calories coming from carbs. They're also packed full of fiber, which helps slow down their digestion and keeps you full for longer. Next, we have soup, but to get the most benefits from soup in terms of satisfying your hunger, you want to make sure that you're having a soup that's full of vegetables and protein. Aside from the high fiber and protein count that you can find in certain soups, they're also obviously mostly liquid, and all that water will help fill up your stomach and decrease your appetite as well. This was observed in a study where volunteers were separated into 3 groups. In one group, they ate a solid meal. In the second group, they ate a chunky soup. And in the third group, they had a smooth soup that was put through a food processor. And the smooth soup was the clear winner because it had the highest rating for satiety and also had the slowest release rate from the stomach. Now, don't drive yourself nuts trying to figure out if you're eating a smooth soup or a chunky soup. Just having any kind of soup that's full of vegetables is great at satisfying hunger. And you can position that soup before your regular meal to help you save calories. So now that I've gone over mostly the carbohydrates that you can include in your diet to satisfy hunger and make fat loss easier, I want to go over some great protein sources, starting with eggs. Eggs once again score very high on the satiety index. They're also very easy to pack and bring with you if you're on the go. All you have to do is boil them. If you regularly have breakfast, eggs are a great choice to start your day with because just by eating eggs for breakfast, it can help you consume significantly less calories throughout the rest of the day. This was noted in one study where they compared having eggs for breakfast to having a bagel for breakfast. And not only did the egg group experience increased fullness, but they also consumed far fewer calories over the next 36 hours after the eggs. Another great filling source of protein is fish. And even though fish may seem very similar to other sources of protein like chicken, turkey, and meat, fish actually ranks as the most filling protein source on the satiety index. It even ranks above eggs. Fish is also full of omega-3, which most people don't get enough of in their diet. Fatty fish like salmon is especially high in omega-3 and is particularly good at satisfying hunger. Now, if you're not a fan of fish, hopefully you enjoy dairy because cottage cheese is also a very filling protein source. One reason it's so filling is that unlike milk, which is mostly made up of fast digesting whey protein, cottage cheese is made up of slow digesting casein protein. And there's a big difference between these two dairy proteins. While whey protein can digest in as little as 20 to 30 minutes, casein protein can take well over 4 hours. So cottage cheese will help you stay full for longer. Keep in mind, although all varieties of cottage cheese will help fill you up, if you're trying to save calories for fat loss, then you'll want to go with the 0% fat or the skim version of the cottage cheese. So there you have it. Those are 11 of the most filling carbs and protein sources that can help you burn fat and lose weight faster and easier. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. Also, if you're looking for a done-for-you program or you want one-on-one coaching with me and my team to help iron out whatever obstacles you're personally currently facing right now, then head on over to my website and join one of our coaching programs now. Not only do we work with you to create the perfect workout and diet plan, whether that be intermittent fasting, keto, 1 meal a day, vegan, or whatever fits best with you, but we also help coach you in a way that makes this a lifelong permanent transformation that you will know how to maintain for the rest of your life all on your own. To find out more, click the link below in the description, or you can visit my website directly at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon.